for different things like saving the earth and bullying and different concepts. I think that it's phenomenal how these Disney stars can not only act, but they can equally sing and be impressive in both areas. And there are a lot of people out there who can't sing or act, and to know that these Disney stars are skilled in both areas are absolutely phenomenal, because it opens up more than one door for them. Take Selena Gomez, for example. Just recently put out her latest album, which features the single Who Says, the title track of the movie Monte Carlo. And while she has this album out that's being promoted on a number of different talk shows and a number of different media websites and what have you, she has this movie called Monte Carlo, a movie I have yet to check out. Miley Cyrus is another example of someone who can sing, has several albums released, and is in several movies as well, signed with Nicholas Sparks just last year, putting out The Last Song, making a phenomenal reputation for herself through that very different role from what we were used to seeing her play on Disney Channel as Hannah Montana. I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful to know that these Disney stars have more than one door opening up for them following their run on Disney Channel. It seems like Bridgit Mendler is going to be sticking around for a while, because here we are in 2011. Most of the Disney stars have gone on to broaden their horizons and broaden their careers, and they really expand on their capabilities and their talents. Megan Jet Martin, who just recently starred in Mean Girls 2, the sequel to Lindsay Lohan's previous installment of the film. And then you have Brenda Song from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck in Social Network, in a very small role, but a role nonetheless in a film. You have Ashley Tisdale still hanging around there with Disney. On the side, she's doing stuff for MTV. Miley Cyrus has gone on tour, courtesy of her Facebook fan page. Found that out the other day in her status updates on Facebook.com. Just go to the search bar and type in Miley Cyrus. I don't have any information on what's going on with Demi Lovato, who was a huge star back in 2009 and 2010. But I think that Bridgit Mendler is going to be sticking around for a while, because here we are in 2011. She just finished up filming that film based on the Mark Peter Hughes novel Lemonade Mouth. Just recently came out on Blu-ray and DVD. Go to DisneyDVD.com for more information on that. It's great. It's great to know that some of the Disney stars are still hanging around, and after all these years, after being involved with Disney so heavily through The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, the original series, which featured Dylan and Cole Spartan, now we have Ashley Tisdale doing this Sharpay Fabulous Adventure film, which is also available on Disney Blu-ray and DVD. As I said, go to DisneyDVD.com for more information. It's the sub-site on Disney.com. Once you click on DVD, for information on upcoming Blu-ray and DVD releases. Also, current information on current releases are available there as well. It's phenomenal. It's great to know that some of the original stars are still hanging around, and I am one who firmly believes that eventually what we're going to see people like Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus get dragged back into the Disney side of things and be starring in Disney films. I don't think we've heard the last of people like Selena Gomez. Demi Lovato, who just recently was checked into rehab just last year, I have heard nothing on her since then. If you have any information on Demi Lovato, you can forward it to our website and our radio program through our YouTube channel or through email. It would be wonderful to know what's going on with her. You can go to DemiLovato.com, MileyCyrus.com for more information on what's going on with them. But I think eventually what we're going to see happen are people are going to get dragged back into working with the Disney Corporation, and we're going to see people like Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, and Miley Cyrus obtain roles. They could be huge roles, they could be small roles, but whatever the role is, I think we're going to see them star in Disney films. And I think that Bridgit Mendler is still hanging around with Disney, despite everyone leaving Disney to go on to broaden their careers and really expand on their capabilities. It's wonderful to see her still there. How she differs from Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, and Selena Gomez, three of the top Disney stars, also probably the Jonas Brothers can be classified in that group. There are a lot of differences when it comes to Bridgit Mendler, a lot of very outstanding and phenomenal differences. For one, she has the capability of playing more than just one role. Take, for example, she was a vampire for several seasons on Wizards of Waverly Place, then she goes from being a vampire to a girl who creates video diaries as the big sister of Charlotte, better known as Charlie in the Good Luck Charlie series, played by Mia Tallarico. I think it's great. I think it's great that Disney is hiring people who have the capability of playing more than one role. Take for example Hannah Montana for the whole Hannah Montana series. That was really all we saw Miley Cyrus do for the Disney Corporation. Now every once in a while she would do a concert or performance as her original self. But that was really the only role we saw her play and take on for the Disney Corporation. That was the sole purpose she was signed back at the age of 11. And now we're seeing Bridgit Mendler only being involved with the Disney Corporation for several years, and already has taken on several roles. 3 roles up to this point in time, which I have a lot of respect for her for. 3 of the roles that I can recall: the role of Juliet the vampire in the Wizards of Waverly Place series. She was Teddy Duncan in the whole Good Luck Charlie thing, and she was Olivia White for that adaptation of the novel Lemonade Mouth in the 2011 Disney Channel film. 3 different roles, 3 very different roles, and she did wonderful with each role. I don't have anything negative to say about her roles in the movie. I think they were wonderful. How she was able to play each character and play it to a point where you actually believed what you were seeing and what you were listening to. 3 very different scripts. I mean, to go from playing a vampire on Wizards of Waverly Place to Teddy Duncan on Good Luck Charlie is a huge, huge transition. Some people, it would take them years to make that transition, but she made that transition fairly quickly, and I think that's what Disney realized, and they realized that this was a talent that they couldn't let go very easy. And I think they're hanging on to her the best they can, but her ability to play all 3 of those roles was absolutely phenomenal. A question I have for the listening audience out there is, which one of the 3 roles that she recently played and donned for the Disney Channel series and stuff did you enjoy the most? Did you enjoy her role on Wizards of Waverly Place, Good Luck Charlie, or her role in the 2-hour film Lemonade Mouth, the adaptation of the novel? Let us know on Facebook.com, Jonathan Clarke, and YouTube.com, Jonathan Clarke 22. And if your opinion is an interesting opinion, we will discuss it with our listening audience. It's awesome. It's great, to see her being able to play all 3 of these roles so effectively. Her work with Selena Gomez on Wizards of Waverly Place is that vampiric character for several seasons, when she was the girlfriend of Justin Russo, played by David Henry. Great. It was a shame that she wasn't involved in the Wizards of Waverly Place film that was released last year around December on DVD for the first time. That would have really given her, a huge push in the right direction if she would have been involved in the Wizards of Waverly Place film, which I saw, which I enjoyed, which I recommend to everybody as a great family film out there. And I'm not just saying it because I've seen it 100 times. I'm saying it because I really believe that Disney has a knack for producing phenomenal, family-oriented films. And it's a shame we didn't have the opportunity to see her in that. I would have liked to have seen more work done between herself and Selena Gomez for different scenes and different vignettes in Wizards of Waverly Place, but her role on Wizards of Waverly Place was absolutely phenomenal. I enjoyed it. She was able to play it, and as I said, she was able to make you believe what you were watching and what you were listening to in terms of the script. And the compilation of the script, it was awesome. She was able to make you believe what you were seeing. It was almost like you were actually listening to an actual vampire talk, and you actually believed what you were seeing. When they started to make that whole twist and started incorporating vampires and werewolves into the series, that made it a whole lot more interesting. And her exit from the show, she got a bite from the werewolf in the series, and then she aged, and then exited off of that show, and then premiered on Disney Channel with Good Luck Charlie for their inaugural season with an entirely different cast. How they took her out of the series was awesome. But the cons of this, the cons that I don't like, are the fact that I didn't get to see much work between herself and Selena Gomez, which I would have liked to have seen more of. I would have liked to have seen more entertaining vignettes, and I would have liked to have seen her stay on Wizards of Waverly Place a little bit longer, because I was kind of getting used to that character, and then she just vanishes and then just shows up on this show, Good Luck Charlie, which when I saw this for the first time, I thought I was watching something that was produced by Nickelodeon, because in the area where I'm from, our version of Disney Channel not only shows Disney Channel programming, but it also shows Nickelodeon programming tied in with it. And I thought I was watching something that was produced by Nickelodeon. It didn't look like a Disney show, but as I watched it and got familiar with the storylines, it only took me 2 or 3 shows to really understand the program. But once I got familiar with it, then I quickly realized that it was a Disney show, and it was great. It was great seeing her on her own show. She was very deserving of being involved on that show. The inaugural season of Good Luck Charlie was a phenomenal thing for anybody to watch. I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. And how she left the Wizards of Waverly Place show, it wasn't like they were introducing you to a character that you hadn't seen before. You were used to seeing her on Disney Channel doing some smaller things, and she was in smaller roles, and you were used to seeing her on Wizards of Waverly Place as Juliet the Vampire. So it wasn't like they were introducing you to an entirely different actress with an entirely different cast of people. You were used to seeing her on Wizards of Waverly Place. The only thing was she was in an entirely different role from what we were used to seeing her on Wizards of Waverly Place. She comes back as Teddy Duncan, as this girl who's recording these video diaries with a video camera, and her reaction and chemistry with the newer cast of people, including Jason Dolly and Lee Allen Baker, great. It was awesome. I think that this Good Luck Charlie series was definitely the right thing for her to be involved with, and I'll tell you why. Because it allowed us to see her play a different role. This was her second major role. It allowed her to take off the vampire costume and get out of character from being Juliet the Vampire and just play an average teenager who was down to earth, who had her interests, who had her teenage crushes, and it was great. And like I said, the inaugural season of Good Luck Charlie was great too. There were a couple of shows that were, not as interesting as some of the shows. Like the first program, it obviously has to be good. Episode 1 obviously has to be good. Episode 1 was basically just an introduction to the cast and got you familiar with the cast of people and what their roles were on the show. She was a very laid-back type of girl. She was, 15, 16 years old when the inaugural season of Good Luck Charlie premiered on Disney Channel. It took me 2 or 3 shows. When I saw Hannah Montana for the first time, I understood the concept of the program just like that, at the snap of my fingers. But it took me 2 or 3 shows to really understand what this program was really all about, and her, scene work with Mia Tallarico and herself, great. Just the chemistry between all the actors, great.